TFM waxtaan ak ñoom ndax ku nekk ak fi nga téye la xam nga am nga loi ci section ni moo doxee ak yu demee noonu na pire nga dal ko koo wax moom itam mu jëlaat loolu ci xalaat yow nit ñi di wax seen xalaat loolu ci nasax la bokk pour ne nit bu mu wax xalaatam boo xam ne bi àndul ak sa xalaat wala mu wax xalaat nga ne dañu war a tëj gémmiñam ñaw ko xam nga suñ doxalee noonu bon nag nit du nekkaati nit ndax dañ ne freedom of expression mooy nit kii dafa am xalaatam te mu war na ko mun a wax su ko defee ñuy dàgge nag di xam xalaat bi gën a pire yenn yi nag suñ d'accord itam nit ñi ñu ngee déglu xam nañ kii li mu wax ak kii li mu wax su ko defee yëf yi dina gën a leer xam nga li leerul mooy ne gëstu bi su ko looyee di def doo em rek ci li baati réew wax wala loi yi wax foog nga seet itam lanay xew ci koot yi gannaaw Gambie dafa bokk George si di jógee ba Nigeria di jógee ba Ghana di jógee Sierra Leone dafa am kuréel gu ñu bokk mu mel ni loolu ci réewi Ghana ci réewi Sierra Leone yu demee ni su xewee lan nga xam dëgg-dëgg li war a xew ci Gambie moo tax li ma leen wax rek ne moo war a xew ci Gambie mooy li war a xew ci Gambie mooy ne ki ñu tànn dafa war a parayaasal boppam pour jël ngóor gi doo jox nit ki ne ko waaw yow soo ñàkkee kay doo wax ni kooku am na doole su demee ci code bi rek nga arrêté ki ñàkk ne du mun a doonati dara daf laa xaar rek waaw xam nga loolu ni ma ko waxee rek noonu loolu xel sax waru koo mun a jël waaye nag su fekkee ne loi ko wax sax nga ne waaw waaye nag xel jëlu ko te loi waxu ko te doxalin ne loi itam waxu ko mu mel ni bon nag ci dàgge boobu li mu laaj rek mooy nit ku dem ci rajo yi télévision yi Sénégal jéem a leeral li nga xam ne moo doon ci Gambie te def ko ci dal ak teey ak joxanti cër xam ne doo def nit noonu gannaaw mu ngi wax lii rek kii noonu Gambie la kii kay moom suñ ko jàppee sax moom dinañ xam nañ ko waaw yooyu yëpp foo ko gis rek li moo mujjee ji mooy li ñu ooyee dictatorship mooy nit koo xam ne kii doo nangooti kenn wax doo nangooti kenn moom boppam te loolu lañ bugg a daax ne ku nekk na moom boppam waaye ki moom boppam itam na yar boppam ba nga xam ne suy wax dafaa wax li nga xam ne ku ko dégg rek dina ko naw boobu mooy la am solo
mu mel ni Moussa Sall 12 days fukki fan ak ñaar des gannaaw inauguration bi naka la waajtaay moom nekk di waajal
waaw waajtaay bi kay moom sori na maa ngi gis gars yi xam nga am nañu kuréel boo xam ne moo yore mbiri inauguration bi mu ngaa seet naka la place bi mel ni ki ñu war a toppatooyee ñu ngi am kuréel yu bari ñëpp ngay dox ay moto yeeg maa ngi gis ne daal ñu ngay yëngatu wax nañ ne sax léegi-léeg ñu laal leen ci wane liggéey bi ñoo def waaye liñ leen wax mooy ne suñ demee ba pare ndax nit li nga parewul baaxul ngay dem ci rajo di ko yëbbaane waaw wax nañ ne suñ demee ba pare nag dañu war a ñëw nag ci rajo yi dem fu nekk mun a yëbbaane li nga xam ne mooy xew su ko defee ñëpp a xam ni mooy demee waaye ñëpp nañ pare yaas ndax benn fan la moom soo déggee si benn fan sax ñu ne la mbir maa ngoog sax yow moom fekk pare nga xam naa ne ñi miin asobe ak yooyu dégg naa ne ñu ngi ci koom waaw mu mel ni daal li mooy mbir.
I have to also say that Africa's democratic progress is also at risk when leaders refuse to step aside when their terms end. Now, let me be honest with you. I do not understand this. I am in my second term. It has been an extraordinary privilege for me to serve as the President of the United States. I cannot imagine a greater honor or a more interesting job. I love my work. But under our Constitution, I cannot run again. I can't run again. I actually think I'm a pretty good president. I think if I ran, I could win. But I can't. So there's a lot that I'd like to do to keep America moving, but the law is the law. And no one person is above the law, not even the president. And I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to life after being president. I won't have such a big security detail all the time. It means I can go take a walk. I can spend time with my family. I can find other ways to serve. I can visit Africa more often. The point is, I don't understand why people want to stay so long. Especially when they've got a lot of money. When a leader tries to change the rules in the middle of the game just to stay in office, it risks instability and strife, as we've seen in Burundi. And this is often just a first step down a perilous path. And sometimes you'll hear a leader say, well, I'm the only person who can hold this nation together. If that's true, then that leader has failed to truly build their nation. You look at Nelson Mandela. Madiba, like George Washington, forged a lasting legacy, not only because of what they did in office, but because they were willing to leave office and transfer power peacefully. And just as the African Union has condemned coups and illegitimate transfers of power, the AU's authority and strong voice can also help the people of Africa ensure that their leaders abide by term limits. And
Last Republic was supervised by the Ministry of Local Government and Identity. And they appointed the electoral officer returning officer. My brother, the elections in the Gambia said that whatever is put in the ballot, you cannot cheat. Because if the rules and regulations are followed, nobody will have cause to play. And because the previous elections, then IEC and that leadership which is not there now, made sure that they followed the electoral laws of this country to the letter, thereby dispelling any room for conflict. Now the electoral law says, there's law, rather the electoral laws from the Gambia say that no polling or voting will start at any polling station unless all parties have their representative and they call polling agents at the polling station. It is when everybody is represented, all the representatives are there, that the IEC would allow people to start voting in the presence of everyone. Because what we have here is not the ballot papers, we have tokens. And each candidate has a box. Now, it is what is put in your box that is counted. In this situation, this election, our agents, we are the ruling party, we are the government of the people. Our polling agents were not allowed in from 8 a.m. to 1 o'clock in the afternoon in some stations, police, and these are major police stations. Now, they made everything possible to make sure that they go in and they were told that they kick them out of the vicinity. In elections in this country, all the past 4 elections, we make sure that the security do not interfere, and then in fact we make sure that there's less security present. Because each time I won, they say, oh, the soldiers, they say like horrible lies. But of course when you think of people that are not moral values, that's normal. That all about the soldiers who are dancing in the street? The soldiers are Gambians. They are registered voters, and if they have a right to support anybody. Should that intimidate anybody? The soldiers were going to vote and they were dancing. What is wrong with that? So, be it the Commonwealth, the European Union, the Americans, each time we have elections, they say the elections are not free and fair. And in most cases, it is the opposition that is always bent on violence to create an atmosphere of electoral violence so that they can use that to say, oh, it is the government that instigated it. But I always tell people to keep the peace and ignore the provocations. To the extent that I think in 2000, one of the elections, I think 2006 it was, the then opposition leader said I was going to teach the APRC a lesson. They got hold of one of our drivers. Not only did they beat him to death, they cut him into pieces. He was arrested and taken to a court of law where all the exhibits were there. And there was, at that time we were members of the Commonwealth, where we had Commonwealth judges and technical assistants paid by the Commonwealth. And this Commonwealth judge made a funny ruling. The case dragged on for almost 2 years. And then they brought this Commonwealth judge to dismiss the case and say it was politically motivated. When you have witnesses coming to testify, pictures are shown of how they cut the body into pieces. And the judge said it was politically motivated, acquitted and discharged the criminal. And then left the country. Now, all attempts to appeal were frustrated. So,
yeah, Jammeh cry baby.
the same person that early part of this year was
Never thought I would see this.
organized an illegal protest. But before going to the protest, he called the press and made a press conference that he is ready to die, but he's going out without a police car to protest. What does that really mean? Because a violent protest started and it was put off.
Violent.
Taking care of
Pathological liar.
to go out and die, but he's not going to ask for a permit. The same person that killed an APRC supporter, cut him into pieces, only to be freed by a corrupt Commonwealth judge under the influence of outside forces and left the country. Now it's emboldened again to say that he's ready to die. Now if you say I'm going out and I'm ready to die, are you going for a peaceful demonstration? No. So he went out to protest, and but when he made the press conference, no Western country said anything about it, which means that he was instigating trouble in this country.
No, because it's his constitutional right, you idiot.
I'm serving the interests of my country and my continent. What I want is what they don't want to hear from an African head state. Independent African countries developing peacefully. This is what they don't want to hear. I know I've made many enemies. Do I care? I don't. I care about what my relationship with Allah and the Gambian people. So, they were even making threats that, oh, if you don't release this guy, he was convicted by a court of law. And then they making threats that if I don't release the person, there will be sanctions. I say, I heard your voice. Whatever sanctions you want, the results will be determined by Allah, not you. And I cannot be blackmailed into accepting this. And they say he was protesting for electoral reform. The reform of the electoral process. And the guy himself is a lawyer. Now, what is the reform he is asking for? Now, this year. Because in our constitution there is no term limit, but there is age limit. So after the age of 65, you cannot contest for presidential election. And now, He wants us to change the constitution that